the Anniston Bulldogs. Anniston competes in 4A Region 4. The head coach of the Bulldogs is Rico White. Today, Coach White has brought with him senior quarterback Cameron Sandlin and senior lineman Raquez McElry. Coach White, we will start with your opening comments, sir.
Good afternoon. Coach White and head football coach at Anderson High School. We getting ready for this season. You know, it's the time of the year where you got to make sure all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. We're excited, and one thing I can say, we were very disappointed about last season as far as going to the first round and getting put out. And one of those things where we just didn't get momentum. But this year, you know, I can say last year we beat some teams that people didn't expect us to beat. Like I said, it just things didn't go our way. But this year we got 23 seniors. We're excited and we're ready to roll.
All right. Just a reminder, coach and players, pull that mic towards you a little bit so our folks listening on the internet and on TV can hear you. And we got our first question from the media. Al, go ahead.
Thanks. I got Rico. I want to ask you two on camera. I want to ask you one. Rico, is this the year of the quarterback in the county? There's three dynamic ones here, and you have one of them. That's the first part of that question. How special does it make it a year when you have that circumstance? I got two of them.
Okay, it's outstanding to have a guy that's been under you 3 years, and he understands the system. He know what leadership is. He know what discipline is, and he lead by example. And like I say, Cameron, I can't say enough about the leadership. And he's quiet and don't say too much to people he don't know. But trust me, on that field, once that helmet on, it's great leadership. So I'm excited for him and the program.
When you put the three together, obviously it's you and Piedmont, Jacksonville have three of the top in the state. How neat is that in one community to have that?
It's outstanding. It's good for the whole overall region. But my main focus is Cameron.
You're the only team that plays the other two. And everybody has the pieces to go with them. It's not just 1 on 11, okay?
Yes.
What will those games be like to have those two dynamic guys in the same game on opposite sides when you play each other? And again, you're the only one that plays the other two, because Jacksonville and Piedmont don't play each other.
Yes. I'm sure it'll probably be fireworks, but at the same time, we're going to try to control that. You know, Jacksonville has a great quarterback, great coach. Like I said, last year we beat them, but unfortunately, you know, due to Dragonfly and some more issues, we had to forfeit that game. But you know, I don't even want to go into details about that because it's just strange when you beat people, then all of a sudden problems come up. But at the same time, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to Jacksonville game especially. So we, as a team, we will be ready for that. So we're just excited.
And then Cameron, the last thing is, how amped do you get when you're in a game with another outstanding quarterback on the other side?
I'd be really excited because I know I'm there for competition. And then I know they're trying to do the same thing, trying to lead your team to a W. But really, I just be really excited, ready to play.
Question, Joe Midden.
Rico, could you speak to how Cam has developed going into his third year as a starter? And then Cam, your thoughts on that too?
Well, the biggest thing when you get a kid that's young, the game's moving so fast. But now that he's older, it has slowed down, and he knows the plan. He knows what we're trying to attack. He knows how to really run an offense, and he's being vocal. You know, at first he thought you can just sit and be quiet and let it happen. Quarterbacks can't do that. You got to get everybody up and lead the way, and that's what he's doing.
Yes, sir. Well, I feel like my 10th grade, my 10th grade year, I wasn't that vocal. Then my 11th grade year got a little better. So my senior year, I just stay tuned.
Question right here. Raquez, I know he probably gets a lot of press, but tell us, if you could, what it's like for these young guys looking at you and you know, because you walk in the room, you command a little bit of presence. What do these guys look for your leadership as you go through the season?
They just look for me to lead them, like do everything that we do, just staying on them. Really not too much, just gotta push them to another level. You know, you gotta play at a high level. So just pushing them to a high level and just telling them they can do everything they can in their power. Really, that's really it. Just keep pushing them, and then just tell them to work hard.
Hey, Coach, talk a little bit about how the game with Piedmont came about. I mean, you know, two very dynamic teams. You both got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Just a really interesting matchup up there. How did it all come about with you and Coach Smith?
You really want to know? I tell you what, the toughest thing being the head coach at Anderson is for us getting teams to play us. We didn't try Oxford, we didn't try Sachs, we didn't try a lot of teams. If we didn't play Piedmont, we'll probably have 4 open weeks. And we're gonna play Villa Georgia, you know, just to get a game, you know. But as far as Piedmont, Coach Smith, we always joke and laugh and talk noise to each other because I know him personally. But I agreed to play him. In order to make that deal, we got to go up there twice, but we're gonna split the game. So I agreed to that. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, you playing a state champion, so that's what we want. That's the competition. That's our goal. So we look forward to playing.
Rico, you mentioned how last year ended. In past years, you've had themes. I remember the Revenge Tour and some other things that you all talked about. Is there a theme this year?
Well, I think the biggest thing with the revenge thing is that guy blew out of proportion. You know, revenge belongs to the Lord. We don't get into that. We just want to take one day at a time. But I tell you what, there's some teams on our list. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I say, I'm very disappointed about last year because of the distractions. But this year we are really focused, and our theme right now is discipline. You know, people love to say Anderson against everybody. No, it's Anderson against Anderson. We do things the right way. We keep discipline. We be structured. We keep a high standard. We keep the bar up high. We'll be fine. And we're not worried about the other team or no one. We're just gonna show up and do our thing.
Coach, I'm curious if you'd elaborate a little bit more about, you know, you said if you weren't playing Piedmont, you might have 4 open weeks. I've been to some of your practices. I see how your kids behave and how you guys work hard both in the building and out on the field. Why don't people want to play you?
Well, I done heard all kinds of stories before I came here. I've been here 5 years, going on 6. I don't make those decisions. Like I said, prime example for Oxford. I don't know the deal between Oxford and Anderson before I came here. One thing I suggested to them, I said, let's play at Jacksonville and split the gate, Jacksonville State. You know, let's do those things, you know, because it's good for the community. It's good for everyone. But, you know, that ain't I can't make that call. But other than that, I don't know why teams won't play us, but that's part of it, and we just do what we have to do.
Coach, I must say, I admire your open honesty with us about that, trying to get games and what it takes to get a game. To go to Piedmont twice and split the gate, I mean, that's gonna create 2 wonderful football games for us as fans to watch, and I appreciate on behalf of this club and this media that you're willing to do that. A lot of coaches wouldn't.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about last year. Obviously, you had a D1 Alabama commit on the team. He's moved on. You got other talented college prospects on the team. How much time does it require of coaches calling and maybe wanting something from you to help in the recruitment? We know you love these young men. Is it a sacrifice of love having to devote a lot of time to that? Talk about that process.
Well, it's good. It's good and bad. You know, one of my goals was when I first got here to get these kids seen offers and stuff like that. And believe me, it have happened. You know, Antonio Kite went to Alabama. This year, Raquez, he's committed to Alabama. He's committed to South Carolina. So I think my toughest job is teaching humility. Stay humble, stay focused, understand the goal, it's team goals. You want personal goals, you want to reach your personal goals, do the team goals first, and it'll happen. So I have other kids with offers. So that just put more pressure, you know. People put you on that ladder, but they still, you got to coach them, you got to have discipline, you got to have structure. You know, Doug Collins had Michael Jordan, but Phil Jackson took him to the mountain. So you just got to have that structure, that discipline and focus. But it's fun. It's a good problem to have, I tell you that. But we look forward to it, and my kids, you know, young kids kind of will envy each other, and like, I wish that was me, but as long as these guys here keep leading and teaching them the main focus, we'll be fine.
Let's follow up on that question with you two young men, Cameron and Raquez. Obviously, it's exciting to be recruited. I mean, that's what every high school player wants, is to go and play in college. Talk about keeping your studies up, still being a leader at practice, but then having to return calls and texts a good bit. For those of us that were never recruited, pull the curtain back, tell us how your day goes.
I mean, my day goes good. I mean, I still have to remember that I'm still a student athlete. Like, I gotta be in that classroom before I'm on that field. So if you're trying to do stuff like that, you gotta remember you gotta do your work first before you try to be an athlete.
First I just want to say, being in this position, it's a blessing. I will tell you that it's a major blessing. Never really thought I would be in this position that I am now. So I just look at it as a real big blessing from God. And just being a student of the game, being a student in the classroom comes first, always. Like, you can't be a athlete without the grades. And Coach Lloyd and all the other coaches, they stay on us and they preach to us about our grades and stuff like that, because schools, they're not gonna take no dummy. So yeah.
That's a good, honest answer. Thank you. All right, Jim.
All right, Coach. Talk about last year's team versus this year's team, and maybe some of the dynamics that we might see a little differently this year.
Just a more mature team this year. Last year, you know, everyone said, well, y'all should be the team, because we had the likes of Antonio Akers, Cam and Raquez and other guys. So the expectations were high. But I think this is a better team because it's not an individual. Like, a lot of eyes was on Antonio Kite last year. They make him the go-to guy. But now we have to be balanced as a team. Everyone have to do their part. So it's a more mature team, senior-led team, and the sky's the limit.
Coach, is this the year? I mean, is this the one that you got to get?
Well, I wouldn't say got to get. You know, I have a strong fan base that the expectation is out the roof. When I took the job, you know, we was in the rebuilding process. So now the standard has been risen up to the top. We expect to win. Ain't no guarantee, so it's one game at a time, and we just look forward to it.
Coach, I got one more question, and we'll get your last thoughts. You guys, of course, are looking for a great season, but what will it take daily? Is it just the grinds you give, or is it just the personal leadership of all the teams? And is there maybe one or two players that you didn't bring that you might want to mention?
Well,
I know you want to mention them all.
Yeah, it's a team of players I would like to mention, to be honest with you. These guys are excited, and the program is excited, but it takes discipline. It takes the small things. Everyone see the big thing. Y'all see big guys, but do they have the discipline to do what they're supposed to do? Do they have the discipline to show up on time, be leaders on and off the field? When no coach is around, are you going to let temptation get the best of you? Will you blow it on one bad decision? Because there's been players who had opportunities that blow it. So for these guys to have the character they have and the standard, that let me know as a coaching staff and myself, we're doing a good job with them. Anderson, it ain't what people perceive it to be. Anderson is a great place. We have changed the culture, the standard, and everything. No one in a million years would have told us 5 years ago you have Nick Saban at the school. You have these kids going to Alabama. You know, so we worked our butt off to get here. Coach Ball, I can't say enough about him. He's not here today, but he's been a great help as far as getting these guys recruited. So the sky's the limit, and we're looking forward to it.
And then anything else you might want to say as you leave today, closing comments?
Not really. Last year, as far as last year, like I said, we disappointed about getting put out the first round. I don't think I slept the whole year. This whole summer been crazy, so I'm looking forward to it. I've been anxious, but at the same time, it takes preparation. It's a process to everything, and we look forward to it. One thing I can say, you know, a lot of people thought, well, Coach, y'all played, they never play last year. No, we didn't. We had a kid in Dragonfly that was black, and black means that you are ready, you good to go. And then after a couple of games, you turn red. So we had to forfeit those games. So, but for whatever reason, they changed back. You know, it's a million stories out there. But one thing about it, what can we do about last year? We're gonna handle it this year, so we're gonna make sure every I dotted, every T crossed. I done talked to Coach Briggs and asked him to come and make sure he check all our records, check everything. We gonna self-report ourselves. Let him check everything and make sure it's on point. So this year when we get out there, yeah, we ain't gonna leave no doubt.
Very good. Congratulations, Coach Rico White and the Anniston Bulldogs. Looking forward to great things